Brogdon, your main man, and I'm talking slowly because I got a smooth lady on here. She a doctor, she a Ph.D, and she been in education a long time. I ain't gonna tell how long, but she'll tell how long. But she been a long time, so she's been mentoring throughout all those years, and she writes about it, and especially about getting into college. So I'm gonna have her introduce herself and tell us a little bit about her career and that kind of thing, and then we'll talk about her book. All right, go ahead,
Awesome.
soul sister. Go
Thank
ahead,
you.
lady. Come on, bring it hard. Come
Yes,
on,
thank
bring
you.
it hard.
Thank you so much for the opportunity to share what I'm doing with your audience. My name is Dr. Carjie Scott, and I serve full-time at an HBCU in their enrollment management suite. And I'm also an adjunct professor at a local college here where I live. And I am the co-founder, alongside with my husband, of the Education Equalizer Foundation. And so I know that we're here today to talk about my book and the nonprofit. And so I've also authored a book, and it's entitled You Are Accepted: How to Get Accepted into College and Life.
With that said, let's go to the other part though. Mentorship. What is that? How did you do it? How, that kind of thing.
Yeah, so I would say that working in higher education, working with college students, there's an extra Black tax. When you help students who were historically not legally able to get an education, there's an extra level of service that you want to give that community, especially when you happen to be African American yourself,
All right,
which
I
is
love
what
it.
I am.
All right, this goes to the heart of the question. Did you have a young lady that you really took fond to and helped out?
Yes, several young women and men. I've also served as an advisor for students, particularly when I worked at a PWI in Nashville. There was a Black Student Association,
Okay.
and I served as their academic advisor. This was when I worked at the business school at Vanderbilt University. There was
Okay.
only 13% African American students in that program, that MBA program.
Okay.
And at the time, I served as an advisor for the Organization for Black Students.
I love
And
it.
so, yeah, so I'm glad that you're asking me about mentorship.
Yeah.
When I served there, that was maybe 6 years ago. And so I could only be a mentor.
What was the thing you said to somebody?
I think that I paid my dues and paid my Black tax. I use that word because I didn't limit my relationships with students or young ladies or young men to just serving them as their advisor. So I got to know them on a personal level and found ways to relate to them and find out where they're from and what has brought them here. And then found out ways that our stories, our backgrounds are the same, and then created relationships. And then it was up to them to call me their mentor. Yeah. It was up to them to be open and take mentorship and advice from me. And ultimately, that is what has happened with most relationships, particularly with Black men and Black women in white spaces. But even now that I'm at an HBCU, I find myself mentoring the students that I've recruited. And what I say to them is I just am myself. I introduce myself. I share with them my story and what my passions lie and where my passions lie. And then usually they feel inclined to share as well because they realize that I'm not just there for a check. I'm there because this is my calling.
And so you've written about what now? Scholarships or life after college, in college? What is it?
Yeah, so it's a combination of all of that, Anthony. It's called You Are Accepted: How to Get Accepted into College and Life, but it's a memoir about how my college education saved my life and how I started off at my alma mater as a work study in admissions, and then I progressed on to become a director of education, a campus director, a director of recruitment, and I just kept going. And I give different tidbits on how to think about college using my lens as someone who's a decision maker, someone who's helping people get scholarships, someone who's choosing who gets accepted. And in the book, you learn that if you come from my background, you can still be successful. If it weren't for mentors pouring into me and helping me, then I wouldn't be the person that I am today.
Where people can order the book?
Yes, people can order the book at carjiescott.com.